Hello everyone, welcome to our pre-calculus pre-recording video. This is our lesson 6 and 7, application of linear equation and review for quiz 1. So we have some application problem, and then mostly we'll discuss about the pattern of the exam paper for our quiz 1, because quiz 1 is coming up, and we'll discuss about that. So let's look at the agenda. We have This is the agenda: modeling real life situation with linear equations. We have some examples that we will discuss here. Then these are the review for the quiz 1. Okay, so let's begin. Modeling real life situation with the linear equation. In the linear equation, we actually can, if something progresses with some certain amount after some certain interval of time, then it is linear. For example, suppose if you say that you have some dollar. Let me write it. Suppose you have $5 in your pocket, and someone says that uh, uh, every week, let's say your mother says that every week she will give you $2 extra every week. Okay, so you have $5 now, and every week she will give you $2. Now, then this thing actually we can model it by some equation, and that will be total amount of your money will be, you have $5 plus your mother will give you $2 every week. This W denotes week here. Now notice that this looks like what? This looks like y equals to 5 plus, suppose, twice x. Don't you think? This looks like this. So basically this one and this one, they are linear. So you see, from a real life situation, you have some money, your mother is giving you some money every week. We actually can model it and write an equation that represents that actual real life situation. Okay, so this is an example. And how these models are important. Suppose now, if I ask you after 10 weeks, in the same way, you have $5 now, and your mother is giving you $2 every week from now on. Then after 10 weeks, how much money you will have total? Then you can just put here W equals to 10. After 10 weeks means W equals to 10. So total money will be T equals to 5 plus 2 into 10 after 10 weeks. Then 2 into 10 means 20. 20 plus 5 means 25. That means total $25. So you see, this is a very simple example, of course, very from practical life. We have bigger example in the next slide. Just to give you, the main idea is same. The deep idea is actually this. You have some money. You have some money means you start with something, then something increases or decreases in some particular interval of time. Then it is a linear. Then we can model it by a linear equation. Okay, it can increase or it can decrease. If it is decrease, then it will be minus. Suppose you have some dollar and you have to pay some mortgage or some loan after every month, then it will be minus for that mortgage, for that loan, etc., etc. That will be minus. If it is decrease, minus. If it is increase, plus. Simple as that. So this is the idea. You will see, notice that actually this is the same idea here, and the rules are written here. Y equals to mx plus b. This b is the value you start with. B is the value when x is 0. That means when the time do not start in this example. M is how much y changes when x change. That means m is the value of 2 here. This 2 means m. X, what changes on its own. X is the something that changes on its own. They don't depend on anything. That is, in this example, time do not care about anybody. Time changes by its own. Okay. All right, so let's look at the examples here. So you see, an internet company charges $20 per month to rent the modem plus $5 per gigabyte of data used. That means if you use 5 per gigabyte, if you use 1 gigabyte, then you have to pay $5. If you use 2 gigabyte, then it will become 10. If you use 3 gigabyte, then it will become 15. So this number is not fixed. This number will change and it will depend on how much gigabyte you are using. But this $20 monthly rent is fixed. That's why 20 is there, and 5 into G, because this G value will change. And you will have to then put the value of G. How many? Suppose 4 gigabyte you use, or let's say 60 gigabyte you use, then it will be 5 into 60. Then this will be the equation. 1500 liter water tank weighs 80 kilograms plus 1 kilogram per liter of water it contains. So this 1500 liter is not playing any role here, because this is the size of the water tank. So this is the maximum value that it can fit. But the weight of the tank is 80 kilograms, so weight is there. Okay, weight is there. And 1 kilogram per liter of water. That's why this will be actually 1L, but 1L means L, so that's fine. 1 kilogram per liter. Liter means L. 1 kilogram you will not have to write 1, because if you don't write anything, that means there is 1. Suppose if it is 2 kilogram per liter of water, then it will be 2L. Okay, so this L is changing. Amount of water you put on the tank, it increases, and if you use that water, it decreases. So that's why L is here. Here you have $60 per month a gym membership, but you can get a $10 discount for it. So it is discount, that's why minus 10p, and $60 is starting. Minus 10p, why? Because it is a discount. A mountain road starts at sea level and rises a height by 50 meters per kilometer traveled. So what about that? How can we make this equation? So you see, this is 50 meters per kilometer. So that's why 0.05 k, because we have to convert this 50 meter to kilometer. So 50 divided by 1000, this gives us this value. And at sea level, that's why actually here we have plus 0. Sea level means 0. That means we start at 0. Sea level means 0. Our height on earth, actually, suppose height of the Mount Everest is what? Height of the some building is, some tall skyscrapers is, sometimes it is skyscrapers actually, sometimes is measured from the ground, but the standard is from the sea level. What is the height of, let's say, some mountains, some anything, all the mountains and big hills, everything is measured from the sea level. Sea level is here, and from sea level how much is that? That reference is 0. Sea level means 0, then this is the value. And 50 divided by 1000 to convert it to kilometer. Then we get this equation. So these are some examples of just some examples how this kind of situation we can write in some equation. These are some examples, and all of them are linear. All of them are straight line. If you draw it, all of them will become straight line. And in the next slide, let's look at detailed math on this. Okay, so this kind of concept we have a little bit in detail in the next slide. This one. Dan receives this dollar, as we said, this will be a little bit bigger, per week for selling a car, plus 5% of the profit on any sales he generates. Write a linear equation that relates Dan's weekly salary S when he has sales that generate a profit of X dollars. So this is the question, and so you see, Dan receives $375 per week for selling cars. So basically this $375 is not changing, plus 5% profit on 5% of the profit on any sales he generates. Suppose if he sells something, some car, and from that car the company gets some profit, then company will give him 5% profit. This is the question. So he gets some salary, first of all, fixed salary. Then if he sells something, from that profit, not from the sale, from the profit, company will give him 5% profit. 5% of the profit company will give him. So we will have to write an equation. So that equation will definitely will be something like 5% of something plus this. 5% of, let's say, x, then plus this. Okay, if x is the profit generated by his sales. Okay, let me show you. This is the equation. So 0.05 of x plus 375. This 375 is the money that he start with, and 0.05 means this is this value. For percent, you convert it to regular fraction, then it will become 5 divided by 100. 5 divided by 100 means 0.05 of x. Okay, so this is the conversion from percent to a fraction. This is the decimal, of course, later calculated to decimal. So this is the equation. This is the model. This is the model. This is the condition for x is greater or equal to 0. This is the condition, but model is here. This is the model. This is the model. Model means the equation that represents this situation, this whole situation. X is greater or equal to 0 because profit has to be greater or equal to 0. Okay. He cannot make a negative profit. Then company will tell him bye bye and tata. He cannot make a negative profit. Okay, he cannot make a negative profit. So 375 is his normal salary for working in that company, and then 0.05 of x. X means the profit that he generates. Okay. So now the question is x equals to, if x equals to 0, then s equals to what? So that means if you put x equals to 0, then s equals to what? Of course, s equals to then this value. Okay. If x increases by $1,000, how much would s increases by? So that means if you put 100 here, then what is the value is coming here? 1,000 here. If we put 1,000 here, then what is the value coming here? That is the question that we will have to find out. Can x be negative? This x, can it be negative? Answer is of course no, because he cannot make a negative profit. He cannot. He has to sell the cars with some profit, either with profit or don't sell anything. Don't sell the car in loss. Okay, so it cannot be negative. And this is the graph of this function. This equation, it is written in equation. That's why let's call it an equation. So this is the graph. It starts from here, which is 375. This value is actually 375. Then it can increase if he can sell more and more. Then it will increase. Okay. This is an in-class practice math. Try to think about how to solve this math, and we can discuss it during the class time. And this is also similar kind of math as our previous example. Now section B, review for the quiz. So let's talk about the structure of the quiz. Do we have it here? Okay. Let's talk about the structure of the quiz. So we will give you total of 7 questions. 7 questions. Like question 1, question 2, question 3. This way total 7 questions we will give you. But in every question there will be like A, B and C. And in some question you will see AB only, but ABC, ABC, ABC like this. So total 7 questions But you will not have to answer all the 7 questions. You will have to answer 5 questions. 5 questions. You will have to answer 5 questions. And each question here is 6 marks. 6 marks. So that means total 5 into 6 equal to, your exam is 30 marks exam. So your quiz is 30 marks quiz. Okay. Now if you answer more than 5 questions, suppose we need 5 questions. If you answer more than 5, suppose you answer 6 questions or 7 questions, then we will check all the questions, then we will drop the lowest 2 questions or 1 questions, whatever you answer extra, and we will keep the best 5. You understand? So if you answer more questions or all the questions, then after checking we will keep the best 5 questions. But if you are sure about your working, about your works or maths, it is not necessary that you will have to answer more than 5 questions. Do you understand what I mean? Because in any case we will keep best 5. We will not keep all of them. Best 5 questions we will keep. Total is 30 marks. Okay. But in the form you will see 42 marks, because in the form it is 7 questions. 7 questions means 7 into 6, 42. But in our final grade calculation in our Google Classroom, when we will write the score in the Google Classroom, we will write it in 30 out of 5 best questions. Okay. So that's the exam format, and exam time is tentatively 6 p.m. on 15th September. That means Wednesday. This week, Wednesday. Alright, so let's start the review. First question is this type. For 2 points, 2 points are given. Find out the distance between these 2 points. That means you will have to use the distance formula. Okay. And then between these 2 points, what is the midpoint? So you will have to use the midpoint formula. Okay, midpoint formula and distance formula. Then on a number line, 2 points are given, 4 and minus 6. 4 and minus 6. What is the distance? What is the midpoint between these 2 points? So if you use the distance here, this is the distance formula, and this is how you can do the calculation. The example is also given here with the answer. This way. This is how you do the midpoint. We do the midpoint. And this one is the line contains this and this point. What is the equation of line? First we will have to find out the slope. Then we will have to use it in the slope-intercept form, point-slope form of the equation to get the final answer. And in the exam, you can do this calculation in your notebook, and you can just only write the final answer, no problem. But if you want to write some calculation, that is also fine. So first you will have to find out slope, then you will have to use the point-slope form to get the equation. The line is parallel to this and contains the point this. So if it is parallel, that means the slope will be same. That means the slope will be same slope. And then for going through the point, we will have to use this same structure once again. Same structure means point slope form once again here. Just like our last class examples. If the parallel, then slope same, and if it is perpendicular, then slope will be negative reciprocal. So we will have to, in this case, the slope is here 4, and for the perpendicular, another slope will be, this is, suppose if it is m1, then m2 will be minus 1 by 4. So you will use this minus 1 by 4 and this point in the point slope form of the equation, which is y minus y1 equals to m into x minus x1. So m is minus 1 by 4, and this is the x1, this is the y1. And this math, suppose 2 points are 4 and minus 6. So the distance, in the distance actually you will this will be 4 minus 6. That means distance is 10. So this distance is simply 10. Okay, and the midpoint is, now for the midpoint you add the two number like this. You add the two number and divide it by 2. So minus 2 minus so this is 4 plus 4. Then if we add minus 6 divided by 2, so answer is what? 4 minus 6 means minus 2. Minus 2 divided by 2 means minus 1. So that will be the midpoint of these 2 points. If it is on the number line, see, if it is on the number line, this questions and this question, this questions and this question is different. This is for 2 points and this is a single point on the number line. Number line means like this, x-axis 1 2 3 4 5 like this. This is called number line. This is the number line. This is 0. This is 1 2 3. This is minus 1 minus 2 minus 3 like this. Okay, this is the number. All right, and this is for graph each of the line, and this is from the. So, of course, in our exam, this kind of exam, you cannot graph it. So basically, we will give you the graph and then equation. You will have to match which graph and which equation is matching. Okay, and in the here you have the same color, so you can directly see which color is which answer. But of course, in the exam, this will not be color coded. Maybe all of them will be in black color, so that you cannot understand which one is which one. But you can look at, like, suppose what is the y-intercept here. Y-intercept is 1, so basically this graph has to be 1. X equals to 1. X equals to 1 is a vertical line here. Y equals to minus 4 is a horizontal line here. So basically the same concept that we were discussing in the last couple of classes. Similar concept, this one, that one, etc. So symmetry. What type of symmetry this equation has? For the graph, this let's say here 1 by 4 x square minus 1, we have, suppose now this is already correct graph, but let's say we give a graph here and then we give another graph, suppose here. So then we will say that, okay, this is graph A, this is graph B. So which graph is correct here for this equation? Graph A or graph B? This way we can ask this question. Okay, suppose we will graph, we can give graph another graph here, then A, B, C. But question is one, which question is this graph? So you can think about it, or you can quickly draw this graph in your notebook and look at which graph is matching. There will be only one correct answer. Okay. Then how to find out x-intercept and y-intercept? For finding x-intercept, you put y equal to 0 and find x equal to what, which is written here. And for finding y-intercept, you put x equals to 0 and y equals to minus 1, which is this. And what is the symmetry here? We can already see that this graph is, now in this case, of course, this one is the correct graph, and we can see that this has y symmetry. Here a graph is given. Now you will have to, so see the difference between this question and this question is, this is from the equation you will have to do, and this is from the graph you will have to do. So this is a graph. What is the x-intercept here? This one is the x-intercept. What is the y-intercept here? This one and this one. What type of symmetry it has? It has x symmetry. Okay, so like this. Answers are this. And this graph, what is the x-intercept? This and this. What is the y-intercept? Only this. What is the symmetry? It has origin symmetry, since corner matching. Okay, this way. Now this is an application math. For our first quiz, we will try to keep application math a little simple. We, of course, in class you may even from our today's video in the first section, you have seen more bigger maths than this one. But we will try to keep it as simple as possible for the first quiz, the whole paper. Of course, we cannot keep it like 1 plus 2 equals to what, you understand, I think, that thing. So this is an example of the question. Suppose Carla needs to install a wheelchair ramp on some steps outside her office. The horizontal run for from where the ramp touches this and this, stair is 7.5 meter and the rise is this. So what this question is saying is, so someone cannot walk through this stair, so they need like this kind of something, so that on a wheelchair it can just use this path to go there. Okay, so this is the idea of this math. This is the idea of this math, and they are saying the horizontal run. So they are saying that this horizontal run from here to here, is 7.5 meter. This is 7.5 and height is 1.5. So this is 1.5. Then the question is, how much is distance? So this is 1.5. This and this is same. So 1.5 here and this is this. So what is this length? I think you get the point, because since this will be a 90 degree, this is 90 degree, so this must be we can use the Pythagorean theorem to find out this height. Okay, and slope means rise divided by run. This question, slope means rise divided by run, so we can easily find out the slope. Then interpret the slope. Interpretation means, what does this slope means? Okay, that means, suppose if you go 7.5 meter, 7.5 meter horizontally, vertically you have to go 1.5. Then again, if you go 7.5 meter, then vertically again you will have to go 1.5. Then again you go 7.5 this direction, you will have to go 1.5. Okay, so that's why this is the interpretation. For every 7.5 meter run, there is 1.5 meter rise. This is called the interpretation of the slope. So this is how the calculation goes. This is Pythagorean theorem. This is slope, rise divided by run. So final answer is 0.2. And then this is also an example from our application math. Suppose a mobile phone plan charges 20 taka per month for unlimited text messages, plus 2 taka per minute for phone calls. Okay. Now we will have to write some equation that represents this statement, and then we will have to answer some questions. Okay. In other words, we will have to find a model for this situation. So the model is this one: C equals to twice m plus 20, because 20 is the fixed charge, and 2 taka per minute, that's why 2m. 2 taka per minute, that's why 2m. Okay. And if the minute is changing, suppose if the minute becomes 5 minute or 6 minute or 10 minute, then the bill will change. The bill will change. But if you send 5 message or 10 message or 20 message, bill will not change, because unlimited message equals to 20 taka. So for this 20 taka, bill will not change. Bill will change only for what? Only for your minute. How many minutes you call? Based on that it will change. Okay. So this is the model. Can m be negative? Of course, m cannot be negative, because this is the number of minutes. Either you talk 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 20 minutes, or if you want, you can talk 500, 1000 minutes, etc., etc. But you cannot talk negative 5 minutes. Either you talk or you don't talk, like this. Okay, don't talk means you are not talking. That means you talked 0 minutes. But you cannot talk negative 5 minutes or negative 10 minutes. That's why it cannot be negative. For 50-minute phone call, we will have to put 50 in the value of m. 50 in the value of m. Okay. So this way we can solve. These are the list for your more practice. Suppose if you want to practice distance related maths, sir, you can say, sir, I want to practice distance related maths. So from 1.1 you have to go 1.1 and question number 17 to 28. This math you should practice. Okay, intercept and symmetry. So you should practice this math. 1.2 you should practice this math. Okay, so this kind of math you can practice for the quiz. So these are the 7 topics that we have in mind for the quiz, and there will be total 7 questions. Okay, in the quiz. And this is the recap for the quiz. This is quiz is on not Thursday. This will be Wednesday actually. Let me change this. This is Wednesday. Let me recheck. 15 Wednesday. Yeah. So Wednesday, September 15, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. Auto proctor. At 6 p.m. we will send you the exam paper link in your email. At 6 p.m. you will get the exam paper link in your email. Then you click on the link. Exam will start at 6 p.m. We may change 5-10 minutes early, but more or less 6 p.m. 4:40, yeah, 6 p.m. you will get the exam paper. So Wednesday we will have class, revision class. Those who have, we can just revise on this kind of maths and other things. Those, suppose your questions you want to one more explanation on this and that, we can discuss on Wednesday during the class time. But we will take the exam on a separate time, which is 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So 1 hour 30 minutes, as you can see, exam time is 1 hour 30 minutes. Yeah, that's all for today, and thank you all. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day, and best of luck for the quiz 1. Bye bye. Have a good day.